The next scene, sponsored by the Woodlawn Theater in support of local San Antonio theater, takes place at the country estate of Mr. John Worthing. John and his friend Algernon have both invented false people to visit in order to escape their obligations. They've both been found out and are trying to remedy the situation. Please welcome to the stage Rusty Thurman as John Worthing and Sam Mandelbaum as Algernon Moncrief in the Classics Theater's production of The Importance of Being Earnest.
This ghastly state of things is what you call bunburying, I suppose.
Yes, and a perfectly wonderful bunbury it is too. The most wonderful bunbury I've ever had in my entire life.
Well, you have no right whatsoever to bunbury here.
It's absurd. One has a right to a bunbury anywhere one chooses. Every serious bunbury is turns out.
Serious bunbury? Good heavens.
Well, one must be serious about something if anyone wants to have any amusement in life. I happen to be serious about bunbury. What you are serious about? I haven't the remotest idea. About everything I should fancy you have an absolutely trivial nature.
Well, the only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run down to the country quite as often as you used to do, dear Algie, and a very good thing, too.
Well, your brother is a little off-color, isn't he, dear Jack? You won't be able to disappear to London quite so frequently as your wicked custom was, and not a bad thing either.
As for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I must say you're taking a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that is quite inexcusable, to say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
I could see no possible defense at all for your having deceived a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax, to say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin.
I wanted to be engaged to Gwendolyn, that is all. I love her.
I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
No, there's certainly no chance you're marrying Miss Cardew.
I don't think there is much likelihood, Jack, of your and Miss Fairfax being united.
No, that is no business of yours.
If it were my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It is very vulgar to talk about one's business. Only stockbrokers do that, and then get their dinner parties.
How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins, when we're in this horrible trouble I can't make out? You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. The butter would probably get on my cuffs. One must always eat muffins quite calmly.
I said it's perfectly heartless for eating muffins at all, under the circumstances.
When I'm in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I'm in very great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything, except food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. Besides, I am particularly fond of muffins.
Well, that is no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way.
I wish I'd had tea cake instead. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens, I suppose a man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
But you have just said it is perfectly heartless to eat muffins.
I said it was perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances. That is an entirely different thing.
Yes, it is. But the muffins are the same.
I wish to goodness you would go.
I can't possibly leave without having some dinner first. I never leave without my dinner. Nobody ever does, except for vegetarians and people like that. I've just made arrangements with Dr. Schwarzen to be christened at 6:15 under the name of Ernest.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up on that absurd nonsense, the better. I have made arrangements myself with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 5:30, and I, naturally, will take the name Ernest. Gwendolyn would wish it. We can't both be christened Ernest. It's absurd. Besides, I have no right to be christened if I like. There's no evidence at all that I've ever been christened by anybody. In fact, I think it extremely probable that I never was. There's an entirely different matter in your case. You've been christened already.
Yes, but I have not been christened for years.
Yes. But you have been christened.
Quite so. So, I know my own constitution can stand it. If you're not quite sure of your ever having been christened, I think it very dangerous of you to venture on it now. It might make you quite unwell. You can't have forgotten that someone very closely connected with you was nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said that a severe chill wasn't hereditary.
It used to be, I know, but I dare say it is now. Science is always making wonderful improvements in things.
Oh, that is nonsense, Algy. You're always talking nonsense.
Oh, Jack, you're at the muffins again. I wish you wouldn't. There are only 2 left, and I told you, I am particularly fond of muffins.
Well, I hate tea cake.
Then why do you allow tea cake to be served up for your guests? What atrocious ideas you have of hospitality.
Algernon, I've already told you to go. I don't want you here. Why won't you go?
Well, I haven't quite finished my tea yet, and there is still 1 muffin left.